it would be fascinating to see the new generation learn about the past and what really happened during the Fourth Ninja World War conflict, especially if Sarada knew what role the Uchihas played in it. In this video, I'd like to analyze everything that is connected to this topic, but before that, I want to ask you guys to like the video and subscribe for more upcoming videos. Now, let's start the video, and we hope you enjoy it. During the Naruto Gaiden animation, which is when Sarada follows Naruto to meet Sasuke, Sakura mentions that since Sarada is a very upright girl who follows the shinobi rules, they haven't told her that her father was an emo Avenger, because she would end up hating him. However, in the fourth official novel of Boruto, they reveal that somehow or another, Sarada managed to investigate a little about the past of the Uchiha clan. For example, she knows that her father was a deserter who attacked the 5 Kage summit, and she knows that Madara founded Akatsuki and started the fourth ninja conflict to put everyone into a genjutsu. The interesting thing is that Sarada doesn't know anything about Obito, which means that Naruto and Hidden Leaf hid things so that the new generation like Sarada would not know that Obito pretended to be Madara and brought chaos to the ninja world. This information comes from the fourth official Boruto novel. As I have already repeated on other occasions, they officially released 5 Boruto novels that talk about the events of the anime, but in a more detailed way. That is, they add scenes and information that they could not capture in the anime. For example, in the 4th novel, which is where they narrate the battle between Sarada and Buntan, there is a scene where Buntan curses Sarada for being from the Uchiha clan, and reproaches her that her ancestor Obito plunged Kirigakure into a time of terror when he manipulated the 4th Mizukage. Upon hearing this, Sarada was speechless because she had never heard anything about this Obito. For the full information, I'd rather read the part from the novel so you'd know all about it. Sarada gritted her teeth and channeled chakra into her eyes to activate the Sharingan. I'll gouge out those damn eyes. Sarada replies, "Do you really want to have my Sharingan?" Some time ago, someone stole the Sharingan from members of the Uchiha clan, exploiting it for shadowy reasons that often upset the balance of the ninja world. Sarada did not know in detail the events of that distant time. "You did me a great favor by coming to our village, so I can gouge out your eyes, just like Ao did when he took the Byakugan from a Hyuga. I will use your eyes to my advantage." However, Buntan did not really wish to possess anything. "I want to eradicate the Sharingan, which symbolizes the lineage of the Uchiha." She growled cruelly. "I will deprive you of both your eyes, and you will fall into a dark and lightless world. I want to see all the Uchiha wandering blind, aimlessly, suffering eternally." The bloodlust that could be read in Buntan's pupils boiled so hot that it made Sarada panic. Sarada shivered to the point that the tension reached even the tips of her fingers, enough to numb them, and then replied. "Why do you have so much anger towards the Uchiha?" she murmured with difficulty. She didn't know the reason for that excitement, and she tried to relieve the tension by asking for explanations. "Don't tell me you don't know!" Buntan exclaimed, thinking for a moment that she was mocking him. "Well, looking at it, you're a brat. The adults might not have told you anything, or maybe they thought that time had erased everything and absolved them of their sins." Buntan laughed, staring at Sarada, and said, "Have you heard of Yagura Karatachi, the 4th Mizukage?" Sarada was silent. The village of the mist had to endure a tragic moment due to an individual from your cursed clan who manipulated Yagura. Sarada couldn't help it, and her eyes widened. Everything happened before Sarada was born, in the last phase of the era in which the world of ninjas was constantly plunged into great wars. What was called the Fourth Great Conflict was different from all previous great conflicts, since it was not fought between antagonistic villages, but against an organization called Akatsuki. Akatsuki was actually a group made up of rebel ninjas from different villages, and whose power surpassed most ninjas of the time. The fight between the Allied forces and Akatsuki was so fierce that it could have destabilized the ninja world if it hadn't. The last major conflict ended in a victory for the Allied forces, but the losses on both sides were appalling. It appears that the clashes killed 20% of the population. Sarada had been told that her and Naruto's parents had contributed a great deal to the Alliance's victory, but several things remained secret, many of which concerned the Akatsuki organization, starting with the one who actually founded and nurtured the organization's ideology, Obito Uchiha, a ninja originally from the Leaf Village. Obito had hidden himself in a certain village to act from the shadows and protect himself from any retaliation. The place was none other than the Mist Village, and it seems that at the time it was nicknamed Bloody Mist Village. Obito Uchiha manipulated Yagura Karatachi, the fourth Mizukage, and worked to found Akatsuki. Men, funds, information, goods, the resources that were stolen from the Village of the Mist and sacrificed for the cause of Akatsuki were not counted. And in this process of accumulation and subtraction, there is no doubt that the Village of the Mist was governed by a policy of terror. At one point, after too much blood had been shed, there was a failed coup attempt, and with it, 6 of the legendary 7 swordsmen were marked as deserters for participating in the coup. Nobody could quantify how much the Village of the Mist changed due to Obito Uchiha's intervention. Certainly, Obito controlled the 4th Mizukage, Yagura, through a particular illusion, passing him off as a cruel and arrogant individual. But Yagura also knew how to recognize the merits of the most deserving, and it is said that he never denied a hand to those who asked for it. The truth will always be unknown. But let's move on. There is no doubt that Akatsuki and the conspiring genius Obito from the Uchiha clan caused torment and deep wounds for the Village of the Mist. Those who grew accustomed to the legitimate comforts of peace either forgot the miseries of battle or did what they could to do so. The battle between Sarada and Buntan continued. Somehow, Sarada managed to keep up, but the difference in strength was obvious. Buntan was superior in strength and experience, not to mention the undeniable advantage of wielding Kiba swords. But Sarada's Sharingan was no small feat and served to fill in some gaps. Sarada knew that the Damocles sword of past sins hung over his family, but all this time she had lived protected. No one had unloaded on her the grudge forged against the Uchiha clan. This was because her father and her mother had been heroes in the previous conflict, and Naruto, the 7th Hokage, had taken care that nothing bad happened. Sarada hadn't had a chance to talk much about it with her father, but she knew that she had committed the crimes of desertion and assaulting the 5 Kage Summit, for which she had accumulated enough sentences to sentence him to death. Death. The girl had gotten sick just thinking about the amount of resentment she had generated in the recent past. The generation before hers had really combined all the colors, so much so that she, Sarada, knew nothing of the issue linked to Obito Uchiha that Buntan accused her of. Perhaps her fellow citizens should have confided in each other, because no one had come forward to clarify various matters. She vaguely knew the history of Akatsuki and Madara Uchiha, but she didn't know anything about Obito Uchiha, so she didn't know if Buntan's claims were true or not. The only thing certain was that that woman was moved by a seething thirst for blood. Buntan asked Sarada, "I guess you at least know why Obito Uchiha created Akatsuki and started a conflict, right?" Sarada responded that she was aware. A devious way to bring peace to the world. In fact, Akatsuki's goal was to create an illusion technique capable of bewitching the world, freeing it from all anguish and pain, and thus placating it, forcing it to live in a kind of eternal peace. Akatsuki speculated that plunging humanity into deep despair was the only means of forcing people to wish for eternal peace. Another interesting fact about the 4th Ninja conflict is that in Kakashi's official novel, they detail that the Ninja Alliance took the doctors of all the villages by force to help on the battlefield. It's interesting to see what the results would be in the manga if the past was uncovered by other characters. What will happen to the new generation, especially Sarada? What kind of effect will it have on her? Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic. I hope this video was informative. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Shinzumaki out. Peace.